everybody, it's Callie and I'm back for my product placement video of the month. This is a series that I do with Rachel Reynolds where we take one scrapbook supply and try to use as much of it or use it in a new way as we can on a layout. So you just saw there that I was thinking about backing that photo in that Maggie Holmes paper from Flourish, but I decided not to. I'm actually going to back the photo with that doily from Recollections, and it's a 5.5 inch, and I'm going to put it on that gorgeous Maggie Holmes Flourish paper called Royal, and I love that paper. I'm so glad I finally get to use it. And what we're doing this month is we are using flowers. So I'm taking my Cheeky Studio Winter Flowers ephemera here, and I'm just kind of moving things around behind that photo. I started it at the top left there, that corner, and I'm just moving things. And the way I just placed that now, it gave like the piece like an antenna almost. I am trying to maybe use another one of those like larger floral clusters, but that was too much. So I'm still playing a little bit here with how I'm going to place all those floral die cuts, and I'm adding this leaves in. I'm adding some darker leaves towards the top, some lighter leaves towards the bottom. And then I have also two of those darker kind of turquoise colored pieces, and I think they're more like, well, they are a flower, I guess. They're almost like a succulent. There was a collection with succulents. Now, I did want to combine both Maggie Holmes and the Cheeky Studio on here, so I went to my Flourish ephemera. Sorry guys, I'm pretty sick. Some Flourish ephemera there, and I grabbed that butterfly die cut. Goodness, I'll grab a glass of water. So I grabbed that die cut, and I'm going to use that on the page. It gives it kind of another dimension. And now what I'm going to do, oh my goodness, I might end up using music a little bit longer for this one, guys, just because I'm not sure my voice is going to hold out. But what I did is that gives it just a little bit more dimension. It's a little bit different than all of the flowers, but I still am going to use flowers down there to bring that on the bottom left. And then what happens is your eye reads left to right, so it's going to start at the top left and then move to the bottom right there because of the flowers. That's what's in common there. And I'm going to put a little leaf in there as well. All right. Now I'm still playing a little bit there. I'm thinking about adding that little lighter cluster up at the top there. And then I decided that maybe I just needed to start gluing things down. So I'm using my Scotch Tacky Glue in my fine line bottle there. I did want a darker element there, but I didn't think that the floral darker piece was the right thing. It just was a little bit too dark in that spot. It felt a little bit too heavy there. All right, so then I'll grab those pieces there. I'm just gluing. The big thing to do when you do something like this is if you can glue kind of from the top layer down, then you don't have to move everything. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. So I did find another lighter piece that I liked, again, for the top right. And then I decided I'm going to use that on the top left with kind of a medium piece as well. And that seemed to kind of fill things out for color there. So I'm looking at color and shape both. And then just what the flower is itself so that I don't exactly get two exactly the same next to each other. I've got a little bit of a difference there. Okay. So I have that glued down, and now I'm continuing to look, and I find that branch up there that I like. And then I find that next branch there, which again is more of a medium one, but it also has some tiny little flowers on that. So that's bringing a little balance, some of the smaller flowers to the top on that die cut there. And I'm also making sure that there's like not any space in between any of the flowers and what I'm putting on there. I'm not creating trapped white space there, so that it's always touching what's next to it. So I'm really liking the way that cluster looks. And I think even though that's a pretty heavy cluster, the focus is still on that photo there. You definitely see the cluster, but it's bringing you right into the photo of me. The story behind this photo is that I'd been at the hairdresser and she gave me beachy waves, which I cannot do on my own. I've tried and I'm not good at it. All right, so looking again to see, you know, I wanted more dark up there, and I finally found it. I popped it right there, and I tucked it really in behind the two flowers there, and that really seemed to help. Now I also, so these are from Cheeky Studio, and this is not an official Cheeky Studio layout. I'm just kind of combining some things from my stash. When Rachel and I decided to do flowers, I knew I had a ton of Cheeky Studio flowers, and I thought this would be a good way to use some and to show you how to layer flowers. But I was thinking about using the flare from the Winter Flowers collection, but it just felt really heavy wherever I put it in that floral cluster. I've done them before where I've done it, but I think because it's at the top, and there's not really any paper underneath this, it felt like it was just weighing the cluster down a little bit too much. So I just stayed with the floral die cuts that I have up there. Now I did want to put a title on this, but I wanted it to be kind of small because I want the focus to be on the flowers, the photo, and then just that gorgeous, gorgeous Maggie Holmes paper. And I'm so glad that I finally found a layout to use this on. It matches with the shirt I'm wearing really, really well, because, you know, I don't want that languishing in my stash. I actually want to use it. So now I have these Webster's Pages Painted Passport alphabet stickers. They're the small tile letter stickers. And I'm thinking I want to do the title Beach Hair. That's how I start out anyway. And I love these because they're tiny. I have them in a couple of different colors. I think I have like a Christmassy green and a yellow for sure. So then when I put this title down, it just didn't feel long enough, so I just decided to call it Beach Hair Selfie. And that got a little bit long to my liking, but I like the length a little bit better. I do cover up quite a bit of the doily. I'm not sure I'm in love with the way that looks, but yeah, it's okay. You know, it's what it is. It's a I think with that tiny alpha there, the focus really stays on the photo and the cluster there. I think if I had put any other kind of title there, any bigger, that it would have really pulled the focus off of the layout, or off of the photo and the cluster there. And the whole point is to show you how you can use these items here, these flowers. It'll be interesting to see what Rachel does. I will link her video in the description below, so don't forget to go check her video out. I also have a playlist for all of our previous product placement videos, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. We've done like chipboard and wood veneer, and last month we used scraps, so lots of different ideas. All right, guys, now I'm going to quick write the date in gold here, and then I think I'm done, but I remember that I had pulled these bows from Cheeky Studio out, and I wanted to use them, and I like it just is something a little bit different, so I moved that one to the top, and they're still in the cluster. They're not really heavy because they're so light, and the reason I took it off the bottom left there was because it felt like it was going to fall. There was nothing holding it up, whereas when it's in the top, on top of all the flowers, it felt like it was okay. And I'm just using a Zatz glue dot to adhere those. And again, those are Cheeky Studio bows. I love these little bows. So guys, I will have a still shot and a couple of detail shots at the end. Hope you guys are all well, and don't forget to check out Rachel's video. Bye!